Staying warm on your hikes is key for safety and for a good hiking experience. And you can either do it the hard way and bring a lot of heavy and bulky clothes, or you can do it the easy and ultralight way and use the layering principle. Now, layering is not all about staying warm. It is also good because of the flexibility it gives. If you're a bit warm, just remove one layer, and if you're cold, then add a layer. In this layering principle, there's one piece of gear beside the puffy, giving you the warmth in camp, while hiking, or just when taking a break. And the one I'm talking about is, of course, the fleece. Today it is all about the fleece and how you can stay warm with as lightweight gear as possible that gets the job done. So stay tuned. This episode isn't a test and comparison between different brands and different hoodies, although I will show you 3 different ones. But the focus for today is on the different fabrics, what the differences is on each one and how they perform out on the trail. In front of me I have 3 different hoodies, all made from different fabrics and all with their own pros and cons, but with a common aim to keep you warm. Before we dive into the different fabrics, let's just take a minute and talk about the layering. The layering principle is easy. When you think about it, it is just pure common sense. It is better to use multiple layers to stay warm than one big one. And the way it works is that you trap a lot of air between the different layers, and the outer layer prevents it from escaping. And a fleece is great for layering, and it traps a lot of air inside the fabrics, being so fluffy and all. You can wear it directly by itself over a t-shirt or together with a thin windbreaker, and that combination will keep you toasty and warm down to at least close to freezing if you're moving. The fleece is also perfect as an extra layer to wear while sleeping, if a base layer isn't enough and if the temperature drops a little bit lower than the comfort temperature of your sleeping bag or quilt. And finally, together with a down jacket, it is also nice and increases the comfort temperature a lot. Especially nice for the cold evenings in camp. So I would say that the fleece is the most versatile piece of clothing that you can bring on a hike and a must-have, if you ask me. When it comes to fleeces, you have a huge number of choices and I can't go through them all. But the one that you see in front of me, including the one I'm wearing today underneath my jacket, is my own fleece evolution from the past, I don't know, 7 years maybe? The one I'm wearing is the Fjällräven fleece hoodie. A little bit thicker fleece for the colder days and an overkill, I would say, for 3-season hiking, and that's the reason why I only use it for other stuff than hiking, like when recording videos. The weight on this one is like over 500 grams, so far from ultralight and nothing I would recommend. Instead, the 3 in front of me is the one I use and have been using for the past 5 years, and all of these 3 are in different fabrics, in different weight categories, and all of them have their own pros and cons. So let's take a closer look. The first one and the oldest one is the Arcteryx Delta LT hoodie, made out of Polartec Classic 100 Micro small grid. The grid fleece fabrics is great and breathes very well because it has no face fabric and rapidly wicks moisture away from the skin, and all at a reasonable weight of 302 grams. For that you get 3 pockets and a hood, so quite a nice deal. The second one is the Salomon Essential Light Warm hoodie, made out of a ribbed fleece with a smooth face fabric, making it shed the wind a little bit better than the micro fleece, which is nice, but that also makes it less breathable, which you can clearly notice that it gets more sweaty and sticky much quicker if you're doing any kind of activity. It has no pockets beside the tiny chest pocket, but to its advantage it is much lighter than the Arcteryx at only 243 grams in size large. So I saved about 60 grams with this change. The final one, and the one that I bought for this year, is the Senchi design Lark hoodie in Polartec ALPHA Direct 90, which is the absolute lightest and warmest material on the market today regarding materials for a fleece, and it weighs in at only 127 grams. Now the ALPHA Direct is available in 60, 90 and 120 grams per square meter, so keep your eyes open for that when choosing your ALPHA hoodie. 120 is slightly thicker and warmer, and 60 is slightly thinner and cooler. than the 90. You can clearly see how open the fabric is, so you can understand that it is highly breathable and wicks moisture away super quick and traps a lot of air inside that furry fabric. One big downside because of the open fabric, if it is a bit chilly and if the wind picks up, you need to put on a wind jacket much sooner and in comparison to the other two, and especially the Salomon. Another downside is that it is not nearly as stretchy as the other two, making finding a good fit really important. The way I see it, all of these three are equally warm, almost. But I have limited experience using the Alpha fleece in comparison to the other two. But to be honest, I haven't noticed a big difference at all. But if I had to choose one being the warmest, I would say that the first place goes to the Polartec ALPHA and the Senchi design Lark hoodie. And the second place goes to Polartec Micro and the Delta LT hoodie from Arcteryx. And the third place goes to the ribbed fleece and the Salomon Essential Light Warm hoodie. But we are splitting hairs here because all of them will get the job done when it comes to keeping you warm. And that takes us to the weight. Like I said in the beginning, today it is all about the fleece and how you can stay warm with as lightweight gear as possible that gets the job done. And without a doubt, Alpha fleece is the way to go and the best option today. It is the final destination, it is the end point and the holy grail when it comes to fleece hoodies. No other fleece fabrics even come close. I mean, 127 grams for a hoodie that is as warm as one weighing in over 300 grams. So despite being only a third of the weight, it will get the job done. Now, Alpha hoodies are available from a lot of different brands like Senchi Designs and FarPoint, but also from a lot of these smaller cut-edge companies. So do check the area where you live and do a little bit of Googling, and I'm sure you will find a good alternative. But do remember, they are quite expensive, so if you don't have the money to spend or if you are on a budget, I would instead recommend you looking for hoodies using the Polartec Micro, or at least fabrics similar to the Polartec Micro for optimal breathability and warmth. If choosing one without pockets, you'll get away with a good weight and to a fraction of the price. But that is just my 2 cents of the fleece, and especially the Alpha fleece. And the question is now, what do you think? Is an Alpha fleece worth the money? Is it as warm as a Micro fleece or maybe warmer? Is it worth buying despite the hefty price tag? Please tell us all about it by leaving a comment. But for now, this is it, and if you liked today's episode, take a look at these 2 recommendations on my other videos. Also do hit like, subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. I hope to see you again next week, but for now, take care, safe hiking and bye bye.